we are here for the third episode of the last season of the Legend of Korra. Um, Last time on Legend of Korra, we saw Toph for a long wait. Um, and she rescue or find Korra. We're gonna probably go into some deep philosophical, spiritual matter with her avatar state persona that has awoken, you know. Um, and okay, maybe not so much because it is tough after all, right? She probably just gonna say, uh, uh, throw a rock on it. It's gonna be fine. Um, yeah, I'm having like maybe we're gonna learn more about background of stuff, what she did all those years, who with who you did all those things. So that was the third episode of The Legend of Korra last season. So we learned more about Toph background when what she was doing, specifically more about after she get out of the police after all the thing with that happened with her 2 daughters, and she decided to go to the swamp. I mean, not directly. We know that she go to all other places and go back to the metal city and stay there and get peace with one of her daughters and all. We know that, but she's now in the swamp and she can like be there without being bothered by anyone because apparently no one likes the swamp. I understand why. And she's there taking her life really good, and because divine is all are connected. We learned that in the swamp and the first season of Legend of Ink, and it is crazy. We have the whole thing with the whole thing with Tough, and in a way, she knew exactly what everything that happened because of that. Um, and she is right in everything that she said in this episode. Well, 99%. And the whole thing about yeah, everything you make doesn't change the fact that it's gonna be another person and another. I kind of say that in when we got to see the Avatar one episodes, because like one passed his whole life trying to make humans be in peace and spirits as well. I mean spirits no, yeah, spirits as well, yeah, what I'm saying. And then he got in and closed the portal, and he passed all his life trying to make every one of the humans be in peace and all, but he ended up dying fighting, literally in a battlefield. And we see like after a long time, um, the two previous avatars before Kyoshi, the Airbender, she also deal with a lot of, I forgot her name. God damn it, Young Shen, I think. Deal with a lot of things in her time. If you watch the graphic novels, you know. Um, the other one, what Airbender, I forgot. He had to do with face stealer and everything that caused with that, end up dying. Um, then we have Roku with the whole thing with the beginning of the Fire Nation. Like, yeah, always gonna be have, always gonna have someone, and because you defeat, it goes back to. I'm gonna give a little spoiler about the Adventures of Jack Chan. Okay, I think it is. I'm trying to remember. I think it's the last episode of the first season. Okay, one of the few things that I remember about this show very clearly is when they defeat the main villain of the season. I don't remember if it's the first or the second season, but if you watch, you know who I'm talking about. They finally defeat him, and they kind of kill him. But the problem is, he is kind of like the source of everything that happened bad and now. But because you should not kill him, what you should have done is seal him. And like, because if you kill him, what's gonna happen is his space, supreme evil something, is gonna be taken by another one, and you're not gonna change anything. But if you seal him, you're gonna like have peace for a long time until someone gets the seal one broken again, right? And in a way, it is similar with Avatar. When the Fire Nation took control of the planet and make war, we did not really have another villains. Like, besides like minor villains, you could say the Basensei is an entity by itself and all, but like, yeah, nah. But just see, like, the Fire Nation was the only villain for more than a century. When Sozen decided to share the knowledge to everyone until being beaten, and you have Korra that has like four okay main villains in a space of way less time. You can even say like after Aang defeated Fire Nation, you appear a lot of villains after that. So we saw one of them in the show Yakone, but in the graphic novels we saw some of them, some minors, but also big ones, villains that like, yeah, that happened because people always gonna look for conflict, and this may be sad to say, but yeah, it's not that easy to change, and maybe never we're gonna change. But the thing is, you still have to do something, and that's what I disagree with Toth. You had to do something, or in the very least, you should make other people do. People had you have to have someone doing the job. Okay, you can close yourself in a swamp like Duff, but in having other people doing the job, because if you don't do it, it's gonna be anarchy, basically. It is basically what it is. Um, and it's funny because if you look off all the villains, they have ideas that work. I mean, all the villains in Legend of Korra, because yeah, the last Airbender are not. The only good villain there was Azula, and she wants just to everyone bow to her. So yeah, Ozai was just fire in the whole planet, fire. Um, but in Korra, you have like Amon has wants with quality. But the problem with that is that, well, first of all, because his discourse was kind of hypocrite, but he wants to. Everyone has to go down and suffer, and it's gonna be by force. And if you don't do that, I will do it by for you. So like, now, and you have the unity with the spirits, which was a really good idea. Um, with Unalak, but again, it has a lot of problems on how he did. Even looking back, it's really stupid. He could just talk like, I am the chief of the water tribe. You, my brother, are no more the chief of the representative of the south. I want you to come back to the north. And I will change the leader. And that's that. He was the leader. He did not need to frame like, so he has so much stupid thing. But his idea of connecting with spirits again was really good. Of course, he go extreme and we need to have connection with dark spirits. I'm gonna fuse with dark spirit. I have a dark avatar, and yeah, you lost me. And Zahir has also a really good idea of destroying everything to be rebuilt. But again, the big problem with them is that they are all extremes, right? You need to go to extremes to things like that happen. And of course, they were born because, in a way, extremes also happen. What I can say is, what I'm trying to say is, Amon only was born to be like how he was because people that are non-benders were treated different. Even in a republic city that should be the example for the whole planet, that was built by Yang, that had Sokka, the non-bender, as member of a council, never get to think that would be a good idea to at least put someone in the council that should be a non-bender. Or in the very least, what I'm trying to say with this is like, you have the representatives of all the nations, and you should have one representative of the non-bender people, you know. And even with people like Sokka and Aang there, they never think that this would have been necessary. And all these things cause, especially in the Republic City, which has like people from all the planet, has people with all the benders, had so be so messed up, which make Amon be not born, but like be make Amon be so powerful and so influential. And you have Unalaq, um, that wants spirits, but like to be back, but was also only born because in the south they completely Korra's father completely ignore the spirits and make completely disconnection with spirits, which is pretty bad, especially if you think that bending powers come from spirits, and especially waterbender. Like, come on. And we have Zahir that also wants to destroy all the kingdoms because all the kings and chiefs of states don't care about the people. And you have Republic City, I don't even need to say, the Earth Queen, I don't even need to say, you know. So, yeah, basically, and of course, for the last, you have an anarchy state that make possible for someone for a military to make a coup d'etat, and yeah, make what she well, kind of, she did not did the coup d'etat until the coronation, but she kind of did. So yeah, I'm not gonna go into semantics. The thing is, problems always gonna happen because, one, the basic stuff that usually drives people is food. If you don't have food, water for everyone, when you kind of lost that, you're going to resort to that. The second thing is with equality. Like people don't have the same treatment that I have. Like things like that. I think Korra can learn a lot from every villain. But the problem with all of them that we saw the main villains, assuming that Kuvira is gonna be the main villain for the rest of the season, is that they all are really extreme and they don't see the point of anything else. Kuvira only knows about order and peace, order, organization. But in a situation of chaos that she can control, it's perfect because of that. But how is she gonna do to maintain that? How is she gonna do to treat people? Zahir wants chaos and all. But when people begin to like that and be fine with that and suffer with there's a lot of things here. And I think you have, for example, how can I explain that? Zahir goes there up left, and then each one of them go to one direction of extreme of the corner, and Korra needs to be in the center because